Family members of Lexington's latest murder victim were inside the courtroom as the man accused was arraigned.
It is a brand new weather pattern for the brand new year. We've got more winter threats showing up in the 7-day forecast just ahead.
And the newest faces on the UK football staff meet the media. What they had to say to the Big Blue Nation, now at 4.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Jennifer Palumbo. We're getting our first sign of snow in 2016. It's not much, but snow showers continue to push through the region this afternoon. Here's a live look at one of our sky cams in downtown Lexington, where it's in the low 30s right now. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at the forecast, and Chris, that wind chill is really cold.
Yeah, we feel like we're into the low 20s into parts of central and eastern Kentucky, but those snow showers and squalls today, Jennifer, coming through, doing their business, putting down a coating, even had some local 1-inch amounts reported in parts of eastern Kentucky. They move on, sun comes out a little bit, you kind of rinse and repeat, do it all over again. That's what happens when you have snow showers on a northerly wind flow, and we still have more in the way of some of those showers and squalls that are showing up on your Defender radar network. So if you're out and about this evening, don't be surprised again if you don't have another quick covering of some snows blowing on into town. Watch the increase in some of that just over the past hour or so. We've got a few across parts of the Lexington metro. In between any snow shower action, you've got a hint of some sunshine. A little more prominent coverage for those snow showers across the I-64 corridor, Moorhead to Winchester, and then Winchester toward Campton, Salyersville on the Mountain Parkway. Farther into southeastern Kentucky, I've had some half to 1-inch amounts showing up into the higher elevations of the mountains. London, Corbin, up into parts of Rockcastle County, Lincoln County. We had the ground covered in some cases a little earlier. Right now, generally 30 to 35. Throw the winds into the mix, and it is cold across central and eastern Kentucky. Bundle up if you're going to be out tonight. It is frigid. All eyes then focus on the weekend with more in the way of winter weather that is coming into the country. And Jennifer, when I come back in a few minutes, we're going to focus on a pattern that is ready to flip the switch toward Arctic air. More on that in 15 minutes.
We'll see you then, Chris. The man charged in connection to Lexington's second murder of the year was in court this afternoon, and so was the victim's family. Donald Roark Jr. is accused of gunning down Corrins White at the University Trails Apartments Sunday night. WKYT's Hillary Thornton talked to the victim's cousins. It's our top story at 4.
Family members of 28-year-old Corrins White filled the courtroom this afternoon as the man accused of murdering their loved one was arraigned. The first weekend of the new year was a violent one in Lexington. The first homicide happening just hours into the new year when 28-year-old Joseph McDowell was killed. Police are still looking for his shooter. Then about 48 hours later, a second homicide. Investigators making a quick arrest in this case, charging 25-year-old Donald Roark Jr. with murder and tampering with physical evidence after Corrins White was found in the parking lot of University Trails Apartments with a gunshot wound to the chest. According to police, White was alert and said he was okay when they found him. However, shortly after, he became unresponsive and eventually died there at the scene around 1 o'clock Sunday morning. While White's family says he did not live at that apartment complex, they say Roark is someone he called a friend. Now, as they are dealing with their loss, they say their hearts are also with the family of the young man now accused of killing their loved one.
They losing a son too.
Yes.
And I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for them.
Because there's no winners. There's no winners. I have to bury my baby. I got to bury my baby. And this boy is facing penitentiary time. There's no winners. None whatsoever. I'll never get to see my son again.
Roark's attorney did enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. He is scheduled back in court 1 week from today. In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
The judge did not set bond for Roark, who declined our request for an interview from jail. A grand jury will hear the case of an eastern Kentucky man accused of killing 4 people and an unborn baby in a crash. According to court documents, Jason Gibson was on meth, Xanax, and anxiety medication when his truck hit a car on the Hal Rogers Parkway in Clay County last month. Judy Pennington Adams, her pregnant granddaughter Tiffany Williams, Williams' son Kyson, and family friend Charlene Lewis all died in the crash.
My mom was one of the best people ever, not just because she was my mom. She had a smile that would light up the room. Judy had a laugh that was infectious, and Tiffany loved everybody.
Gibson has been in the Clay County Jail since the crash. Our reporters are working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Amber Philpott joins us from the newsroom with some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Amber.
Good afternoon to you, Jennifer. A man convicted of murder for a deadly crash learned his punishment today. Sentencing for Justin Wibbles took place in Laurel County. Police say Wibbles was speeding when he hit a van head-on in June of 2014, killing the van's driver, Jerry Thompson. The judge followed the jury's recommendation and sentenced Wibbles to 20 years in prison. The 23-year-old was speeding past vehicles in the emergency lane on Highway 30 before he crossed the center line and crashed into Thompson's Dodge van.
We didn't want him to get life because everybody deserves a second chance. But the 20-year sentence, I think it went well, and it'll give him an opportunity to learn from his mistakes.
We'll have more on the sentencing coming up on WKYT News at 4:30. 5 state constitutional officers were sworn in this morning at the state capitol rotunda. They included Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes, who is starting her second term. The others are all newcomers: Attorney General Andy Beshear, Auditor Mike Harmon, Treasurer Allison Ball, and Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles. The new Attorney General talked to us about his goals while in office.
The mission that our Attorney General office will be addressing has 4 parts. Number 1, ending child abuse in this Commonwealth. Second, better protecting our seniors from scams and abuse. Third, ending that rape kit backlog and finding those victims to justice.
Governor Matt Bevin gave opening remarks, as did Lieutenant Governor Janine Hampton. You'll hear from others that were sworn in on WKYT News at 4:30. That is a look at just some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thanks, Amber. Coach Mark Stoops has 2 new faces on his staff, and this afternoon they met with the media to talk about their vision for the UK football program. Rob Bromley joins us now with our Big Blue coverage. Hi, Rob.
Hello, and a new direction for the Wildcat offense. Assistants Eddie Gran and Darren Hinshaw introduced this afternoon at Commonwealth Stadium. Gran on the right will be head coach of the offense and running backs coach. Hinshaw on the left, co-offensive coordinator, and he'll coach quarterbacks. Both come in from Cincinnati, where they've been working under Tommy Tuberville. Gran worked with Mark Stoops at Florida State.
To have this opportunity to get back with Coach Stoops, our 3 years at Florida State, knowing him now the last 6-7 years, it was the right move.
We see Kentucky doing this, okay? And I know the record hasn't shown it with bowl games and all that kind of stuff, but we feel like we're coming in at the right time.
Very excited. They've had great numbers, but more importantly, I know the leadership qualities that they have. I know what type of people they are. They are unbelievable recruiters.
And Mark Stoops also announcing today that Derek Ansley, who has been coaching defensive backs, will now have the title co-defensive coordinator. Stoops said that in no way is a demotion of coordinator DJ Elliott. Jennifer?
Thank you, Rob. And Stoops also said his assistant coaches have been in demand, with other schools reaching out to them. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. Just back from a 2-week vacation in Hawaii, President Obama says he'll move forward on new gun control measures without Congress. The planned executive action has already created backlash from Republicans who say Mr. Obama is acting more like a king than a president. Mark Albert has the latest from the White House.
With the Attorney General by his side in the Oval Office, President Obama said Monday he would defy the Republican-controlled Congress and implement new gun control measures by executive action.
This is not going to solve every violent crime in this country. It's not going to prevent every mass shooting. It's not going to keep every gun out of the hands of a criminal. It will potentially save lives.
The president reportedly wants to require small gun dealers to perform background checks on buyers and make it more difficult for convicted domestic abusers to purchase firearms. The White House said Mr. Obama will take unilateral action soon.
We have to do something in this country to address the consequences of Congress's failure to act.
The GOP blasted the president, and those who hope to succeed him say his executive orders won't survive if they're elected.
He has a phone and he has a pen, but if you live by the pen, you die by the pen. And my pen has got an eraser.
Governor Chris Christie says he thinks the courts will strike down the president's plan.
It's not constitutional, and I am confident the courts will reject his attempts to do that.
The White House says President Obama will discuss his plans with congressional members before he unveils them to the public. Mark Albert, CBS News, the White House.
House Speaker Paul Ryan issued a statement calling the president's plan a dangerous executive overreach and said the country will not stand for it. New at 4, a missing country music singer has been found dead in Oklahoma. 29-year-old Craig Strickland disappeared during a severe storm last week. His body was pulled from a lake this morning just south of the Oklahoma-Kansas state line. Strickland and a friend went missing last Sunday during a duck hunting trip. The friend's body was recovered from the lake 1 week ago. Strickland is the lead singer of the Arkansas-based country rock band Back Road Anthem. A double dose of unsettling news rattled Wall Street and stock exchanges around the world today. The Dow ended the first trading day of the year down by about 276 points to 17,000. At one point, it was down more than 450 points on concerns of new signs of weakness in China's economy and fears that escalating tensions between Saudi Arabia and Iran could bring a spike in oil prices. Gas prices, though, are likely to remain relatively low in 2016. AAA predicts gas will average between $2.25 and $2.45 a gallon. AAA estimates Americans saved more than $115 billion on gas last year compared to 2014. That comes out to roughly $550 per licensed driver. 2016 may be the year to change careers. A new Career Builder survey says more than 1 in 5 workers plans to leave their current jobs this year. That's up 5% from last year. At long last, iPhones could be getting batteries that last longer. Reports say the battery in the new iPhone 7 Plus will be about 13% bigger than the battery in the iPhone 6 Plus. The iPhone 7 is also rumored to have a lot more storage.